I ask you to be seated for the lighting of the candles. Amen. Good morning, church.
Good morning.
Family and friends. Good to see everybody here for worship this morning. So I'm going to ask you to let us go to the call to worship. God of the feast, God of abundancy. Will you stand, please? Though the wine has run out,
You work miracles among us.
though the work feels impossible,
You accomplish wonders through us.
though many fail to perceive it,
You reveal your glory among us.
help us to receive your good gift this day.
That we might learn to put our faith in you.
Amen. I'm going to ask you to remain standing, and I'm going to ask a little different this morning. Instead of my praying, I think most of you know the Lord's Prayer, and I like praying together. So let us all pray together the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we've forgiven those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, Lord, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. Amen. Singing now? Okay.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
Job said, may not come when you want him, but he'll be there right on time. I said, he's an on-time God. Yes, he is. He's an on-time God. Yes, he is. On-time God. Yes, he is. Job said, may not come when you want him, but he'll be there right on time. I said, he's an on-time God. Yes, he is. You can ask the 5,000 hungry souls he fed at the banks of the river with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. What a miracle he What he did way back then, he'll do the same for me and you. I'm saying he's an on-time God. Yes, he is. On-time God. Oh, yes, he is. Job said, but he'll be there right on time. I'm saying he's an on-time God. Yes, he is. You can ask the children of Israel, trapped by the Red Sea, and that mean old Pharaoh and his army. They had water all around them, Pharaoh on their back, and out of nowhere, God stepped in and built a highway just like that. And I'm saying he's an on-time God. Yes, he is. On-time God. Oh, yes, he is. Job said, may not come when you want him, but he'll be there right on time. He's an on-time God. Yes, he is. He's on time. He's on time. He's on time. Oh, yes, he's on time. Ask the children of Israel. They'll tell you he's on time. Ask Job, and he'll tell you he's on time. Oh, yes, he's on time, on time, on time. He's on time. Oh, yes, he's on time. He's an on-time God. Yes, he is. On-time God. Yes, he is. Job said, may not come when you want him, but he'll be there right on time. I said, on time God. He is an on time God. He's an on time God. Yes, 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 he is.
You will remain standing for the affirmation of faith, or stand for that, please. I believe in God the Father Almighty, the maker of heaven and earth, and in Jesus Christ, the only Son, our Lord, who was conceived by the Holy Spirit, born of the Virgin Mary, suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified, dead, and buried. The third day he arose from the dead. He ascended into heaven, and sitteth at the right hand of God the Father Almighty. From which he shall come to judge the quick and the dead. I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Holy Catholic Church, the communion of saints, the forgiveness of sins, the resurrection of the body, and life everlasting. Amen. 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 You may be seated. At this time, we'd like to welcome all who have gathered in this place this morning, and welcome to our visitors, if there are any. If you're a visitor here this morning, just kind of wave your hand. If not, we're all family here this morning. God bless each of you. It's good to be here in the house of the Lord one more time. Amen. Our announcements, you will find them in your bulletin, and so I hope each person has received one, but I'd like to read a few of them that's here to just ting your mind a little bit to follow through on those. And if we know that tomorrow is the celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King. I do believe that all schools are closed and it's a holiday. Someone mentioned it was a holiday. I've forgotten what day it was until I realized it was Dr. King's day. Notices for the bulletin should be sent to Patricia Bethel, and she would like to have them by the Wednesday prior to the worship service. And she wants them sent by email, and you have her email in your bulletin there, in your order of worship. And so we ask that you would do that for her. She's responsible for the bulletin. She'd like to get everything ahead of time. January the 25th is Saturday school with Patricia Henderson. That's always at noon. January the 22nd and through the 29th and the 29th will be podcast. It's on Wednesdays at 6:30. And then March the 15th, the nurses are having a prayer breakfast, and that's at 11:30 a.m. There are tickets available from the nurses. Is that correct? That's correct. I'm sorry, several people spoke. Coming soon. All right, I like that. There are ways to give in person during worship using the square terminal in the multipurpose room and by mail. Clare United Methodist Church. You have the address and everything before you. And then you have the pastor's information there below you. Are there any other announcements that we should have at this time? None? Okay. We will prepare our hearts and mind and our pocketbooks for the offering. Amen? Amen. We need more than your mind. We like your prayers and your pocketbook, the 2 P's. Yeah, that's right. We had our meeting yesterday, so we need you. We need you. We really do. Will you come forward? Good morning, Pastor. At this time, we will hear from the choir. Following that, we will hear from our pastor, Reverend Dr. Charles.
Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised. Now, y'all could have fooled me. I said, great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised. Speak to my heart, Holy Spirit. Give me the words that will bring life and will conquer anything that the enemy would try. In Jesus' name, amen. John 14 through 17 is our scripture for this morning. And if you permit me, it's not going to be on the screen, but I'm going to add a scripture. You don't have to add it to the screen. Well, after we read the text, I'm going to tie one more scripture to the text. John 14 through 17 says this: if you ask me anything in my name, I will do it. If you love me, you will keep my commandments, and I will ask the Father, and he will give you another helper to be with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it neither sees him nor knows him. You know him, for he dwells with you and will be in you. Matthew 28, 18 through 20. And Jesus came and said to them, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go, therefore, and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age. The word of God for the people of God. We have tried to begin unpacking this church theme, and today I want to talk about greater reach. Greater reach. Therein lies a serious problem in the life of the global church. And the problem that exists begins with understanding what a kingdom is. Many people have misconstrued the concept so much that they don't even realize that they're participating in behavior that is more focused on being like an empire. Kingdoms and empires are two different things. They are two very different things. The most important difference between the two is the goal of each. A kingdom is concerned exclusively with the overall well-being of everyone under the crown. And that purpose sits in the one who's on the throne, which means that a king or a queen has an innate responsibility to make certain that everyone prospers. Let me say that again. The monarch that is on the throne has the responsibility of making certain that everyone prospers. Prosperity for all will not be at the expense of any, but it is the responsibility of the monarch that they take on to make certain that every person, from the so-called greatest to the least of these, prospers. That is a kingdom. An empire, on the other hand, places their desires ahead of the well-being of individuals. Therefore, when an empire conquers a land, they never, ever take on or fold in the uniqueness of the people who have been conquered, but they desire to make certain that those individuals become fully immersed in the ideas and concepts of the empire. They have no desire to see all prosper, but they will allow some to prosper who become a part of the empire. Now, when we begin to talk about our faith. And you will just have to excuse me, because part of me is speaking as the pastor of Clare. Part of me is speaking as a black man in America. And part of me is speaking as a child of God who has grown weary. But you have to understand that I sit in a very unique place as a believer. I watch individuals who truly believe down in their heart that they are doing God a service. By superimposing opinions and ideas that God never wanted. God didn't ask for it. God didn't ask for my opinion about Jack. When he called me, I had to answer either yes or no, right? He never asked me, Sean, he never asked me how I thought I should do ministry. Not one day. I've been in this thing, next month will be 27 years. I'm 43 years old. God never asked my opinion about how to preach, teach, nothing. He just said, are you going to come in or not? And at 16, I said, yeah, because I ain't going to be like these other people who ran for their lives and eventually had to stop. In 27 years of doing this, I have never been asked my opinion about how things should move in ministry. The only thing that I was ever asked to do was to make certain that, listen, the kingdom of God go forward. That regardless of the individuality of people, regardless of their personalities, that my job, my one main job, is to make sure that the kingdom of God go forth. God never asked me to submit myself to become a prophet of the empire. Never. Never asked me to be a prophet of the empire. Never asked me whether or not I wanted to do a thing just because I wanted to do a thing. I am an introvert preaching the gospel. God said, I want you to advance the kingdom because people need to know that I, God, care extremely about the well-being of my creation. Which means that you cannot limit what I've asked you to do to just being in a pulpit in four walls of a church house. Whether it makes you uncomfortable or not, you need to do some things to reach folk wherever they are. This ain't about your convenience, it is about my kingdom going forward. Now that's just me. I don't know where you sit. I'm not going to speak for you. Your relationship with God is your relationship with God. And I'm not going to try to be all up in your business and do a whole bunch of stuff. However, my job is to disrupt some of y'all so you understand that your comfort and convenience is not on God's agenda. God has never cared about your comfort and convenience when it comes to advancing the kingdom of God. Yeah, you tell me, well, you can't tell me. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you facts. Fact number one, when you came to Jesus, it was your choice. When you came to Jesus, you understood that without the Lord, you weren't going to make it. That was a decision that you made. Now, you realize that with decisions come other things, right? You can't keep it to yourself. You sing the songs that you don't believe. I said I wasn't going to tell nobody. But guess what? Some of y'all stopped at that part of the lyric. Because the lyric actually says, I said I wasn't going to tell nobody, comma, but I couldn't keep it to myself. Because folk are scared to reach beyond themselves. People have made it a point to say that all I want to do is empire work. I want folk to come the way I want them to come. I want them to look the way I want them to look. I want them to fit into my whatever. And ladies and gentlemen, because of that mentality, there are a whole lot of folk that need a touch from the kingdom that are lost right now, and they are blaming the kingdom for things that the empire has done. Gerald, here we go. We're going to set you free once and for all. The mess that got into your life and mine, guess what? It wasn't kingdom stuff. It was empire stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, you are not supposed to be a part of an empire. The kingdom of God is not about your stuff or my stuff. It is about making certain that all people know that there's a reality in serving the Lord. And you got to reach beyond yourself. And ladies and gentlemen, here it is. I don't care what that looks like, and I don't even care how you feel about it. If you don't get to reaching, God is going to let you know that you're not really employed in the kingdom's work. Listen to the Lord again. If you ask me anything in my name, what's wrong with y'all? You asking everybody else, coming up with all kind of excuses as to why God can't do a thing because you think it's about you. Jesus said, if you ask anything in my name, I, not you, I will do it. That's why the church is weak, because we stop asking God for anything. Why don't you see miracles? Because you ain't asked the Lord. Why don't you see healing? Because you ain't asked the Lord. But if you've asked God for anything and you've seen God do it, you ought to shout. Because every now and then you ought to be able to be a witness to what God can do. I'm so tired of mealy-mouthed people who don't read the book, wait for Sunday morning, got an opinion about everything, but the Bible said, open up your big mouth, ask God anything in his name, and he'll do it. You need him to be a provider? Open your mouth. Lord, whatever you can do in your name, do it. Everybody that got an opinion but don't know how to talk to the Lord, I'm sick of y'all. I'm straight up. I'm sick of all people who say they know the Lord but never talk to the Lord about nothing. Telling God your opinion. The Lord said it straight. It's there, right? Sister Marva, you'll keep me straight. It's right there, right? If you ask me anything in my name, 4 words after that, I will do it. Business meetings should never be difficult. Leadership meetings should never be difficult. Church meetings should never be difficult. Nothing in the church should ever be difficult based on one verse. If you ask anything In my name. You stressing folk out, but you never ask God. You getting in the way of stuff and you never ask God. You coming up with everything and you never ask. If you ask me anything in my name, and here it is. That's a sign of kingdom, right? What did I just say about the kingdom? It is on the monarch. Who is Jesus? Oh, come on up here. Look, if we were going to be about shouting, we could shout all of that. King of kings, Lord of lords, Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. The one that was wounded for our transgressions and bruised for our iniquities. The one that was said that the government would be upon his shoulders. And his name would be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. He told you, I'm the monarch. It is on me. So if you ask me in my name, I am obligated to do it. Now, then he says, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. And here's the exchange. If you love me, not if you serve me, if you love me. Let me break that down. If you love me, you'll do what I'm telling you. And in exchange for that, the next part, and I will ask the Father, and he will give you another helper. Here we go. Now we're talking about the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost don't make you shout. The Holy Ghost make you do right. You didn't catch the Spirit when you started shouting? No, the Holy Ghost make you do right. Your shout is because of how you feel, but every now and then I don't got to shout, but I need the Holy Ghost to help me do right. And if you understood why I was in my office just a tad bit longer, I was about to go through one part of my music collection that would get me off the chain, but then I stopped and I said, Lord, I need something different. He intercedes for me. Protects me from things unseen. Helps me between God and me. He intercedes for me. And when I let God intercede, he began to change my disposition. Give you strength to tell the truth and also give you confidence to keep on going. That's how the Spirit works. Do what I ask. If you love me, you'll do what I'm telling you. And then I'm going to ask the Father to give you some help. And when I give you this help is the Spirit of truth that the world cannot receive. The world can't receive. Why? Because they don't know. Can't see him. They have not encountered me because I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. They haven't encountered me. So they can't see or receive what they don't have relationship access to. They don't see him, don't know him, but here it is, you know him. For he dwells with you and will be in you. You know who he is. He dwells with. That's external. The Holy Ghost was at work in an external way many times in the Gospels. That's why Jesus said, you know who he is because with you. But after I go, he gonna dwell in you. Which means you can't get away from what the Spirit is trying to do. If you're going to reach folk, you need some stuff. And they were going to have to reach some folk. Matthew says what? Go into the world and teach everybody baptizing them in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe what I've taught you. Now watch this. The reason I brought that up is because nowhere in that part of the text, in Matthew 28, does it ever say that Jesus wanted the disciples to have an imperial mindset. Take the gospel. Don't be like the empire. Do you know why people have a hard time in the United States of America dealing with folk that's saying that we, the nation or the foundation of the nation wasn't really about freedom, but it was about imperialism and colonialism? Is because people want to write a narrative that they feel comfortable with. If you came to a place that wasn't yours and you established colonies, that means you are colonizing a place, and colonization is a cousin to imperialism. Now watch this, and this is going to make some folks' noses turn up. But because we have not done our due diligence with our own understanding of Scripture and our faith, we allowed colonialism and imperialism to infiltrate many of our theologies. Therefore, we don't promote freedom and liberation like we should, but we still promote oppression because we want people to fit a thing when God said, no, I want to save all folk and save them within their what? Uniqueness. I don't want to take your personality. I just want you to know there's a better way. There's a difference. I want you to know who the Lord is in totality. I don't want you to have you ever met those folk that got saved and all of a sudden they turned into stuff you can't even recognize? Looking crazy, thinking that it looks better to be, this super sanctimonious saint. And good and doggone well, they only been saved for 5 good minutes. And all of a sudden, they're walking around looking all pious and otherwise. And it's like, no, God did not save you to take away your personality. God saved you so you understand there's another way. Huh? And if we are going to offer people a better way and extend our reach when it comes to this gospel, there's 3 things that we got to do. Number 1, very first thing, you got to ask God for clarity. Ask God for clarity. You asking everybody else, and you still ain't clear with God. My job is do my best to offer to you what the book says, hopefully some wisdom based upon relationship with God and what the word has to say. But ultimately, your job is to go to the Lord for yourself. Sorry. Your so-called emergency does not require me to drop what I'm doing to get you out. It requires me to tell you, have you talked to the Lord about it? If you want what I can offer you, I'll give what I can offer. But after I do that, the next thing out of my mouth is going to be, have you talked to the Lord about it? I can give you all kind of things. And maybe, whatever you may have talked to the Lord about it, and the Lord said, come by my way, and whatever has been said helps clear stuff up. That's cool too. But the question is, did you even take the time to talk to the Lord about it? You want things to happen, but did you knock on the Lord's door. You want things to happen, and the one that can make it happen is wait. Behold, I stand at the door. Ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be open. Everything in the Bible returns to our responsibility to talk to the Lord about it first. Some of y'all think I'm crazy when I think of a lot of different things, and I share with folk about ideas and concepts and all that stuff. And there's a reason why I wait so long to share anything. It ain't because of your opinion. I don't care. But it's because I sit with the Lord for quite a while. All hell breaking loose around me, and I find time to sit with God, and I'm like, Lord, I need to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are in this. And if I got to ease up a minute, I'm cool. If I got to throw down on the throttle, I'm cool with that too. But I believe that whatever I ask, you'll make it happen. I consult God a lot because sometimes it's yes and go right ahead, and guess what? I'm going to let you just run through everybody and everything. And sometimes it's like, I said yes, but I want you to do a couple things first. And then some things are just a straight up no. But it's not a no because it was a bad idea, but maybe because God is trying to block some stuff before we revisit the thing again. Some of y'all hate no. We talk about yes, no, and wait. Can I talk about no? Sometimes God's no is literally protection. Come on, talk to me. Sometimes God's no is literally keeping you away from something that is trying to take you out. You ought to shout off of a no every now and then. But the only way you're going to get that stuff is if you what? Ask God to be clear. Because if you keep on asking everybody else, they're going to give you what? A perspective, an opinion, a thought. Unless they, thank you, Jesus, unless they are Samuel. What do you mean? Remember when Saul got lost? Trying to chase down his daddy's donkeys? Unless you run into a Samuel, where a person on the street said to Saul, I know a man that everything that comes out of his mouth is true. Unless God has made you a Samuel to somebody's life, you better consult God for yourself. Number two, to extend our reach, we have to have genuine love at the core of our mission. If you love me, Jesus said, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. If you love me. If you care about me. If you care about what I'm about in your life, you're going to keep my commandments. You're going to listen to what I'm telling you. You're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that we're staying in line. And if you are loving me, then everything you do beyond this will be based on that love. It will not be based on thoughts, ideas, concepts. I was asked once, why do I do things a certain way? Why do you Like, how do you deal with folk? And why do you deal with people the way that you do? I said it's because of the grace of God. Straight up, the grace of God. How am I supposed to treat folk like garbage when God treated me better? But herein lies the next problem. Are we doing things for the kingdom of God because we really love God? Or do we want to appear to the world as if we are very pious? Sean and Gerald will remember this because we've had this conversation in private when we were going to the prison on a regular basis. Somehow we're going to make it happen, but I think there's some home-based stuff we got to do first. But we talked a lot every time we go. We always talking. And I said it to them in private. I've said it in public, but I'll say it again. I said, I need y'all to understand why I asked y'all to come and not other folk. And I'm like, why? I was like, well, when I go to a place like a prison to be around brothers, a lot of them that look like me, I do not go there to observe. Yeah, you know, and you know the next line and come out of my mouth. I go there to do work. And I need folk around me that are gonna go there. I mean, we do what we do. We love each other, we joke, but when we get up there, it's time to go to work. I don't need people observing, looking around, acting scared. It's time to go to work. That's why when we walk on that yard, we ain't got no fear, not because we're escorted by a prison guard, but some of those prisoners run up on us, and they know us, and they like, what's cracking? And we like, what's good? Like, we go see you in about 30 minutes? And they like, for sure. Because they know we came to go to work. And I know everybody can't go to a prison, but can I tell you that if you're really about the business of the kingdom and you got love at the core of what you do, there's things that you are not going to put up with. I'm not going to put up with people that are going to judge these cats based on what they've done. That's not why we're there. They've already been judged in a court of law. They've already dealt with someone sentencing them. They've already been there for years. They don't need your criticism and your ugly eye. They need somebody that's going to what? Pray for them. Not be scared to get some oil and lay hands on them. Not be afraid of the fact that they've been in there for all kind of different stuff and you can still minister to them. And that's just prison. But I'm talking about, how about the folk that come up in here? They were hungry and we fed them. Come on in here. I'm talking about the folk that come on a Sunday morning. They don't look like some of us. They don't have stuff like some of us. We all worried about whatever they looking like, sounding like everything else. But they came up in here and they said, if I could just make it to the church house, if I could just get where the Lord is, something's going to change. I wish some people still had that kind of urgency down in their spirit, that every time they came to the church house, they just said, you know what? I don't care what I went through this week. The fact that I got here, I give God praise. The fact that I got here, I give God glory. The fact that it might not have been the best week, but the Lord still allowed me to get here lets me know that God is real. And because God is real, when I think about who he is and how he loves me, oh, how he loves you and me. He gave his life. What more could he give? And when I think about the love of God that causes me to triumph, how could I not treat somebody with that same? The love of God's got to be in your decisions. The love of God has to be in how you give. I'm not talking just your money. I'm talking your time, your talent, your resource. It has to be at the core of your being. Who cares if you get into heaven and God will look at you and say, what did you do to help somebody else? I'm not in it just for myself. I want to hear the Lord say, well done. Last thing, I'm through. Last thing in how we extend our reach in spreading the gospel, you need to refer to the Holy Spirit, parentheses, that should govern your life. I had to put it in parentheses because, can we be honest? Some of us don't always listen. Wait for it. I wasn't finished with the statement. Some of us don't listen on purpose. On purpose. You just willingly just say, nope. Telling God, you gonna do what you gonna do because you know better, which is the most ridiculous thing in the history of the world. You don't know Jack. You just don't know. Come on, man. Listen, can we just things that we should have left last year in the year of our Lord 2025? Can we just go ahead and stop being so arrogant to think that we know better than God? Can we just? I don't care you've been in church all your life. I have too, but I ain't telling the Lord what to do. Like, it makes my head itch when I get around people. Be like, I know I wash my head and my beard. I don't have no dandruff, man, but some folk make you itch. Just be like, God, why? I'm taking you behind the veil because I've been pastoring too long. I've been in ministry too long. There are folk that literally make me itch because every time you trying to do something, just wait, watch this, just a little bit more for the Lord. We ain't even talking major stuff. We talking just a little bit. It don't even require heavy lifting. It don't even, watch this one, and some of the stuff don't even require money. It just requires your time. There are 24 hours in a day. And if you get a good night's sleep, that's 8. You got 16 hours. Ain't nobody working 16. Unless you just doing it, in a short amount of time, like 4 days a week, and you off 3, right? So if you're working, you got 8-hour day, right? And then you got travel time if you're not working from home. And then you eat. You still got a few hours in there. What have you given God? Spirit telling you to do some stuff, and you just won't do it. Just won't. Just won't. And you know God talking to you. And you just won't. Not can't, you just won't. That's even worse than can't. You just won't. And you then come to church on Sunday, and then you try to show us that the Spirit is in you, and you give your little emotional outburst. Sounding like a flat tire. And God's like, that sacrifice stinks. You want me to prove it? In the Old Testament, there came a point when God said, I don't want your sacrifices. I don't want your noise of your songs. Let justice flow like waters, righteousness like a mighty stream. I don't want the act. I want the real. If you do what I say, you show me you love me. But then let me show you how I'm going to help you. I'm going to talk to the Father, make sure that the Spirit lives within you. So the Spirit will help you to do what you need to do. Getting up here every week is not an easy thing. I need the Holy Ghost to help me. I mean, now there's some weeks I'm ready to just run up here and ready to go. But then there's some weeks I wish I could hide. Okay, because I'll speak for me and help some of y'all. There's some weeks I want to cuss folk out on sight. There are some weeks that I don't want you coming near my door. And so I don't want good folk catching a stray. There are good folk that I don't want them catching a stray. That's why sometimes I don't want you coming near me. Ain't got a thing to do with me and you, but I know the difference between the good folk and earth disturbers. I don't need good folk catching strays. But me and earth disturbers, we might have a fight. So if you're an earth disturber, I'm telling you now, you better thank God that I know that the Spirit of God dwells within me. Because you could have been running me my fade many times. In other words, you would have caught a right and then a left. See, Sean, I got a knockout punch. But if it takes me more than one, I got to give them two. That's what I just need. I don't waste punches. I don't waste punches. Y'all got nervous again. I thought we were cool. I thought I could be honest with you. The Spirit of God governs my life in a way where the things that I feel most don't occur. I don't need to shout and run around for you to prove that the Holy Ghost is there. I need to be able to treat you right. Watch this, even if you don't treat me right. I got to be able to love on you, even when you're highly critical of me. I've hugged Judases because I realized if I didn't have that Judas, I still wouldn't have died and rose again because the power of the resurrection lives within me. Y'all missed that. So you better thank God for Judas because, Judas will get you to the cross, but because you know the Lord, you will get up. You can do everything you please, but guess what, baby? I'm a child of God, and I am guaranteed to rise again. You can't kill what is in the hands of God. If we're going to reach folk, quit asking folk that are devoid of the ability or the desire to listen to the works of the Spirit. You might be surprised what will happen when you let the Holy Ghost talk to you. Some of the things you've been praying about, some of the things you've been worried about, some of the things that have been concerning your life might get straightened out if you stop long enough and say, Lord, speak to me. It's not just a good song towards the end of the original Color Purple. It's a real thing. Y'all can sing it. I know some of y'all can sing it right now. What Suge Avery was trying to tell y'all, Y'all singing, y'all get shouted and all that stuff. Like, speak, Lord. Speak to me. Suge Avery was just trying to tell you that at some point, you better let the Lord talk to you. Suge got up from the juke joint. Huh? Heard in the distance a song being played. And in the middle of being in the juke joint, come on, y'all know the story. All the music stopped. And she changed her tune. And she said, speak, Lord. Speak to me. and wait. And she didn't just say it in the juke joint. She started to move and her feet started going somewhere. And once she hit the path, everybody in the juke joint said, where's Suge going? And the musicians came and the other folk came. And by the time she got to the church house, she blew up in there and she sang over the original soloist. And then all of a sudden the whole house went up and said, God is trying to tell you something. God is trying to tell you something. Maybe God is trying to tell you something right now. I wish I was in a church that understood that God is still trying to tell you something. It ain't about you or me. It's about knowing that God can reach anywhere. Wait, the blood that Jesus shed for me way back on Calvary, the blood that gives me strength from day to day, it will never lose its power. Here you go. It reaches to the highest mountain. It flows to the lowest valley. The blood that gives me strength from day to day, it will never. You better start doing some spiritual calisthenics and work on your reach. You can't short arm the works of God right now. You can't have T-Rex arms. In the words of the institutional radio choir in Chicago, stretch out. This is the year because you need to reach. Wow. How to reach the masses. People of every birth. For an answer, Jesus gave the key. And if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw. So guess what you need to do? Lift him up. Lift him up till he speaks from eternity. And if I be lifted. You want to know how the church is going to grow? You need to reach. You need to stretch. You need to open your mouth and talk about the goodness of God. You are responsible. I'm responsible. But let me emphasize that again. You are also responsible. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Baby here, and you're dealing with the possibility of 2 invitations. First one is the salvation. Because all the things we're talking about are really bound by the relationship with God. The Bible says if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised that same Jesus from the dead, you will be saved. And as I've been saying for weeks, salvation is the easy part. give your life to God, God makes your whole world brand new. Instantly. That's the easiest part of the thing. Challenge comes through discipleship, where you got to work out your stuff. I know y'all been seeing these shirts between me and Marissa and CJ. Y'all remember last week, I actually said these words that are on my shirt. Gotta believe it, gotta learn it, gotta work it. That's discipleship. You gotta believe it, gotta learn it, and you gotta work it. If you believe it, then you gotta learn everything about it. And then after you learn about some of it, guess what you gotta do? You gotta work it. Don't make no sense to have great knowledge about God and then you don't work what you say you believe. That's discipleship. You gotta work it. It may not be being in a position, but it just might be that you feed the hungry whether anybody sees you or not. You clothe the naked whether anybody sees it or not. You visit a stranger whether anybody sees it or not. You do something to show that you are a disciple of Jesus Christ. No better place to work that out than here at Clare United Methodist Church, where all we're trying to do is work it out. We ain't perfect. We ain't perfect. We got a whole bunch of people that got a whole bunch of stuff going on. We all in process, and we all looking for progress, okay? Don't let nobody fool you. Ain't nobody reached it. We all trying to get there. Huh? And the more honest we are about that, the more we can actually be the church that God wants us to be. We all trying to get there, man. I ain't there yet. You ain't there yet. But we trying to get there day by day. And that's how we do it. We believe, we learn, and we work it. If you need a place where you can grow, develop, and be all that God wants you to be, this is your opportunity as well to become a disciple here at Clare. If you're online with us, you can go to ClareUMC.com and let us know of your decision on the e-member tab that you'll see on the homepage. But if you're here, would you come? One more time, just ask. Comfort. Listen, I try my best to remain optimistic because it hurts emotionally, spiritually, physically to be negative. And I want to emphasize that last part, that physical. It hurts too much, literally, to be negative. 2024, I had more stuff going on in my body, and there was no cause. And I've written it off for now as dealing with internalizing the negative. So in 2025, before you even saw me, I made a decision. I was like, I'm not internalizing another negative thing because it's too hard. And so I know we're going through growing pains as a church. I'm just going to say it. We're going through growing pains. And some people don't realize that growing pains are actually a good thing. They really are. Because number one, it means that you're doing something. Go through growing pain, it means you're doing something. If we weren't doing nothing, we wouldn't be going through all that stuff. Okay? So let me put that out there. That's a positive. I'm going to put a positive spin on stuff. When there's struggle, that's growing pains. How do I know about that? My son, as he's grown, has literally dealt with physically growing pains. Because you see him, much taller than any 10-year-old that you will normally see, but most of his height has come in a painful way. That's my baby. No matter the fact he's almost 6 feet tall. And I've had to take him to the doctor because he'll be in serious pain because he's literally growing again. And it sucks. That's on the one side. But on the other side, I look at it as we have done our part as parents to cause him to be able to grow in such a healthy way that it's nothing worse than just how the growth plates are going. He's healthy. He's viable. He got the greatest hugs in the world. Willing to give them out on a regular basis. Emotionally good. Spiritually good. My son, who struggles with dyslexia, has finished strong this quarter. You have no idea. My son of his own accord, a kid who would find ways to hide that he was afraid to do stuff on his own. In the last couple weeks, took homework, went to a desk, worked on that stuff until he got it done and right. And he deals with a struggle. I've watched my son grow right before my eyes. May I suggest, because I'm telling you, I'm not dealing with no negative crap. None of it. Not in 25. Not in 25. You are not going to make me sick in 2025. You're not. Your negativity is not. None of it. You're not going to make me sick. My family don't need to cash in on a life insurance policy now. And no, you're not going to make me sick. And you're not going to make each other sick. Let me take it all the way here. My job is to do my best to shepherd and lead. You ain't making me sick, and I will fight you if you try to make somebody else sick. I will fight you because that tells me that you are not about kingdom business. And I will defend the kingdom of God's movement forward before I entertain another negative idea about anything when it comes to the life of the church. That's 2025. That is my attitude. That is my attitude. I have told you up front. Don't look for anything else. Just don't. I love you. You can hug me after church and everything. But don't. But as the song, every movie and every play is coming to my mind, as it was sung in the movie The Wiz. Don't bring me no bad news. Don't. No, if it's things that we need to pray about over your life and ... yes, we're going to do that. If you're going through a struggle, yes, we're going to pray about that. But when it comes to the growth and the movement of the kingdom of God, we got too much to do. We got too much to do. And I want you to understand, I love y'all enough to just be honest with you. We got too much to do. We can make this thing happen. There are things that God wants to do with us. There's things that God is willing to do with us. But we got to be willing to listen to God first. Let's talk through it before we shoot it down. Let's talk through it before we shoot stuff down. It ain't about getting your way, because I can tell you what happens when you try to get your way. Ask people that used to go to certain churches that are now closed. That's what happens when you try to get your way. Forget me. God will shut it down. Quick. One more little quick lesson. The worst thing that God could ever write on a house of worship, look it up in scripture, it's a name. Ichabod. Do you know what Ichabod means? God no longer dwells here. I'm trying to make sure that I never see Ichabod written. Now, I don't know what you focused on. I want God to say, well done. I do not want God to write Ichabod. If you ever wanted to know what my focus is, you now know. And it's on camera, so you can go back and replay this. That's where I'm at. Just in case you forget, it's for the record. For the record, I don't want to see Ichabod. I want to hear God say, well done. That's it. That's all. Amen. I love y'all. I promise I do. Podcast this Wednesday at 6:30. But just in case, of course, make sure that you do all you need to do over these next couple days. Arctic blast is supposed to come through. Extreme temperatures. It's going to be an extreme drop. Please make sure you have done everything in preparation. Pray for those. Jesus. Pray not just for those that are outside, but pray that God will change the hearts of those that have access to large spaces indoors. Not just during the day. Amen. I know a lot of people will be in spaces during the day, but what happens after 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock? Pray. Can we make that our prayer focus for the week? Amen. Brother Jerry, our friend, he has now moved, and he's now in Dayton. Now, what does that mean? That means God has opened up a door for him. Your love and your appreciation of who he is and the help that many people gave him in ways that are not known opened up a door for him to be in a more comfortable situation in Dayton. So we thank God that we could be used. Let's stand. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and give you peace. May the Lord bless the work of your hands and the effort of your days. But most importantly, may the Lord bless you now and forever. And all God's people said, amen.